Resident Alien, Season 1, Episode 2, review.
I mean, isn't that just a serious violation? Taking a selfie? Like,
my first thing I was going to say something about was, if they're fighting, I think I can get the chicken.
yeah.
That was one of my
Yeah.
favorite parts of the episode. Was
Yeah.
both fighting, I can get the chicken. Like, his whole thing is, I want the chicken. They're fighting.
Well, the whole thing is, the whole thing about this episode is he eats so much because he feels this weird emptiness that he thinks is hunger, but it's not hunger. It's some
Loneliness.
strange ocean. Yeah.
Eventually figures out it's loneliness, but like he's just... that and his...
How the hell did I catch a human emotion? This shit's contagious.
Yeah, and his
we call that...
Good.
We call that catching the feels.
And he also has this low level but still, what the heck, like Sideshow Bob, Bart Simpson thing going on. I'm going to kill you, and then he messes up somehow.
And his fantasies of how it's like, I'm here with my lovely wife and my lovely son, and I'm your lovely wife. I'm here too. Click, click, click. Huh, that's weird. The light isn't going on. I hope that smell isn't a bunch of propane gas, which, I mean, technically it wouldn't be propane gas going through the stove, but still. I'm gonna light a cigar. Boom. And every time he fantasizes, there's always that one shoe plopping down. Drop a house on him, drop a piano on him, there's the shoe.
and then like
and they're such like cartoonish things.
Like, yeah, and he ends up like cutting the brakes on his bike. It's like,
And I love the fact that his ideas keep coming from Darcy completely by accident. It's like, oh no, I don't want that drink. Last time I tried to kill someone. Like, ooh, is that your first murder? Oh no, I killed someone else before.
I mean, this is a laugh.
Oh, cool. I've always wanted to date a murderer. Just make sure you make it look like an accident so that we can still go bowling tomorrow night. Make it look like an accident. That's a good idea. Great, I'll pick me up at 8. Oh, what's bowling? And I'll be honest, what Harry did to Mike, I have done to my teacher when we went bowling for school. I don't know if it hit him in the groin, but I think it hit his foot. Because I didn't want to actually harm him, but I was pissed off because we were in the middle of doing archery, and then we ended up going to skiing because, oh, there's snow on the ground. Let's do cross-country skiing. And instead of going back to archery when skiing was over, we jumped into the next module. So we got our archery class cut short, which was the whole reason I took that class, that version of gym. And we went to bowling. And I'm like, fuck this. I hate bowling. So I threw the bowling ball at the teacher, making it look like an accident. So.
Yeah. And then when he starts describing each of them, it's like I can now read what they are. Like, this is weakness being covered by strength. She seems like a rabbit. that one yells at so much it starts to
So
lose its hair.
yeah,
She does seem
this one
like
looks like
she's
a
really
bed.
sweet. Like she'd be a really nice person to know, but like she's super stressed out because of the sheriff and everybody else
Yeah. Well,
being
he treats her like such shit. Like he does not show her any respect. Like anytime anything happens, he's like, "What? You know, who cares about
well,
what you think?"
yeah, like he said, like the thing he noticed about the sheriff is like, yeah, this is insecurity being masked by superiority. It's like if he,
Confident. That's right.
yeah, it's like,
Weakness being masked by strength or
well, I
superiority.
think the superiority, yeah, he's got that superiority. You know, he's so afraid of being perceived as weak that he overcompensates the other way and treats everybody else like
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if he just calmed down a little bit, everybody would just respect him.
And I love her description of him. It's like, oh, don't mind the sheriff. He's he seems mean and stuff, but he's really just a big teddy bear with a really mean bark and bite. Ball your arms off.
Yeah.
But he's really sweet when you get to know him.
Yeah, and she figures out like, yeah, and she's like the whole sketch artist, like the sketch artist thing. Yeah, one of the things I do as sketch artist. Why don't you tell me about the alien? And actually,
Yeah.
that's a really sweet thing to do for the kid. Like assuming he's even like this is all in his head and whatnot. That's a really sweet thing to do. It's like so he can at least well, this is what I'm talking about, and like which might be a little weird because then at least they could figure out like the parents might want to know what it looks like so that maybe they could figure out okay that looks like what alien species does that from what series does that look like, and we stop letting him watch that series, and then
Yeah.
he won't have so much this won't mess him up so much,
Yeah.
and so we cut him off from that. If he looks like one particular scary one, like if he ended up looking like Predator, like it's okay. We don't let him watch the Predator movies, the how or whatever. But uh, let's see. But the fact that it freaks him out and like how did they just rips the thing off the telephone pole, just like or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and it's like,
And then he sees like a billion of them.
No.
but the thing about this is the series is there's all at least for these first couple episodes, there's always a lot of ideas coming through. It's like, yeah,
Yeah. There's
this
a lot of plot. It's not like A plot, B plot. It is like an entire town worth of plots going on at once, but still tied closely enough together that it doesn't overcomplicate the main story.
yeah, and a lot of
Yeah.
them are little vignettes, little tiny things. They have all these storylines that are going on, but then you'll also hit these little vignettes of, well, that's just a fun idea that they threw in there. Is oh, okay, we
Yeah.
got some time, let's throw this in there. Like the guy with there's 10 things that'll kill him before. It's like, do you like Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate in June.
Yeah.
Like there's 10 things that'll kill him before the bad food will. It's like,
I like
oh.
this guy. He's honest. How do you do that? He doesn't like anybody. I'm
So,
honest.
yeah, well, he told him what he wanted to hear, but was also
And
honest. It's like I want to be able to eat, bad food. well, it's like, well, really, there's no reason why you shouldn't, because it, trying to
You're
eat
about
healthy
to
now
die
is not
anyway.
it's not gonna fix anything. You're gonna be dead by then, so, eh. Uh, but
And I love that octopuses change their color too. Yeah, I was gonna stop at the hair.
and he also told somebody that he was from, like, I know he was trying to say that he's hungry, but he was like, where are you from anyway? Hungary. It's like,
No, he said I'm hungry.
oh, I thought, like, she'd asked him about, like, where he's from, and he said Hungary, like, because he's hungry, but it sounded like, it could have sounded to her like he said he was from Hungary.
Yeah, no, that was him trying to displace the question and be like, I'm hungry, bye. Which he has done on a few occasions already, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but,
you know.
but yeah, there's just so many little things in this series to get hung up on and talk about. He also, during this episode, yeah, he just made a levitation thing. Just made that.
Yeah.
He's levitating an apple.
Well,
It's like, seemed very
no, I mean, he was a scientist on his planet, remember? It
yeah.
said, I was a scientist on on my planet. Being a doctor wouldn't be hard. 5 minutes and I can graduate. So
Yeah.
he's trying to Google. He thought, oh,
This is
I look up how to fix a wart. Oh, that's not what I'm looking up. Quick, pelvic exam, pelvic exam. Oh no, camera. Did you just take a picture down there? Oh no, I'm taking a selfie. First day. Like, okay, cool.
but and we also got an interesting sort of little fire that's burning with the fact that the snow is going to melt soon.
Yeah.
And so, like, he needs to look for it.
He's got to find his ship and his device before before the snow melts and anybody else can find it.
Which it sounds like with the guy who fell on top of his ship, like, because it's invisible. I assume it's his ship, that it was just invisible, and that's why he's just sort of, he died frozen on top of it because he couldn't get off of it.
And then those people find it.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, that's another thing that's gonna have to be, he's gonna have to resolve. See if there's anything else I can think of. But yeah, he's that. Those are both.
Asta drives a bike, like me. Although I have an electric bike because I'm busy.
Well, you're gonna be running around all day at your work, so
yeah,
you're gonna get the exercise in anyway.
Yeah, I do. I love how kind of desperate Darcy acts towards him. She's like,
Okay.
she has latched onto him to the point of, okay, he's my new boyfriend.
Well, I mean, come on. He's a hunka burning love.
He's very handsome, like a young Jerry Orbach.
And we got another cut scene of from him from earlier, that him doing the trying to figure out how to work the body.
Yes, how to be human. Although, to be honest, yes, he did say, it was so much work getting into this body, but once you've got the hang of it, changing bodies, really the only main difference is height, weight, and that sort of thing, and making alterations to the movements. Because whereas he was first learning how to move a human body, because you saw his alien form, his knees were backwards to us. He had 4 arms. He only has 3 fingers instead of 4, well, 5. You know, his his entire physiology is different. Whereas human, changing from one human to another wouldn't be as difficult as, say, you turning into a mouse or a dog, you know? Like, getting the hang of another person's body would just be a matter of getting used to difference of height, weight, etc. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to work around boobs, which is why the doctor doesn't really have that much difficulty, because the doctor just regenerates into another human-like form. So really, the most they get used to is, oh, I got boobs now, or oh, my hair's different, or oh, I'm taller, I'm shorter, I'm, bigger.
Or a new chin. Slimy.
I have no chin. So yeah, it's like that's the main differences. Not like trying to figure out how to brush your teeth. Also, Harry Bull's left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Which, yeah. And all that reminding you of, him being a different form when he landed. Like, he was hungry when he landed, and then the
He sees a
barn,
cow and
the
he's
cow.
suckling. Oh, and then when he's human and he goes to get some milk and the lady screams and he runs out, I'm sorry, it was consensual.
Yeah, because at first you think, okay, he's gonna, he's
Eat the
going to
cow.
eat the cow, but then he goes to suckle the milk, and it's like, well, yeah, that makes more sense, but that's not how vicious I thought he would be.
Yeah. And then he goes to suckle the cow in human form. And imagine seeing some strange man just in your barn suckling your cow, like blowing the teat. It's just like, what the hell? I don't blame her for screaming, to be honest. She probably did chase him out with a broom, which is why he was running.
This has been so far 2 episodes in. We're very dense episodes. Like, just
They're all really dense episodes. Like, they feel there's so much packed into each episode that it feels like it's a longer runtime than it is.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, and it's like going from like other, it's like this show is like, really good rye bread versus like Wonder Bread. It's like Wonder Bread you can just squish in your hand and it just crumbles it balls up into nothing. And like rye bread is just, it's so dense.
Exactly.
Good rye bread is really dense. It's really good with some pastrami, Swiss. Anyway, back in the room.
I hate Swiss, but I put cheddar instead.
Mm.
And then raw onions instead of sauerkraut.
I
don't like sauerkraut.
I
love it. But anyway.
I was just thinking about pastrami on rye, and that was just like, and mild cheese to accent the very lightly.
I was just thinking my Reuben variation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I haven't put sauerkraut on pastrami. Do it on bratwurst, but not on pastrami. I don't think I've ever done sauerkraut on a pastrami sandwich. Anyway,
Anyway,
back in the room.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, these stories are so like densely packed, but in not a cluttered way. Like it is just so detailed written.
Yeah.
Written with so much detail that everything is important, but it's not in a cluttered, hard to follow way. My 7-year-old nephew loves this show because it's so easy to follow. Like, even though it is so complicated, technically.
Yeah.
And like all the tiny little details they put into it.
And we got a little bit. One thing also, we got a little bit of scaling in this. We found out that he said the extinction device is about the size of a briefcase, so we can kind of scale what we see in the backstory when we see it get struck by lightning and the thing drop off. We have an idea of kind of what the scaling on his ship was, because there was nothing to scale it against.
Yeah.
And the fact that the guy could lay on top of it, and we kind of got a sense of the height, assuming that is his complete remaining spaceship, and not just a part of it. Like, we kind of have an idea of about its height. Anything else?
Nothing that I wouldn't want to spoil because it ties into future episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, I mean, Darcy is pretty badass. She almost died skiing, and she's still like.
Wasn't she's like hella skiing or something? Like, she was suggesting that, or was that somebody else?
She suggested hella skiing.
Yeah, she didn't say she wasn't doing it, but at the moment, but like she suggested it. She offered, so it's like she was willing to do that. So, okay.
Even though she almost died in the Olympics. Or going
honestly, hella skiing sounds hella fun.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. I think.
But she's got a wicked.
All right.